So this was the first official SmackDown following the Royal Rumble PLE that took place this past weekend. We were promised here tonight for main event Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair to make an appearance regarding their potential WrestleMania opponents who they might select here, whether it's Cody Rhodes or Tiffany Stratton. And like I said before on Monday, you know, if you compare the reactions from Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso, it's night and day, because Charlotte Flair comes out, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm just kind of just over the Charlotte Flair stuff. I'll get to that in a second. But initially, we started off the show here with Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. He came out here to, like I said, a massive response. Not as loud as Monday, but still, I mean, this guy, he's super over. Like, it doesn't take a genius to realize how over this guy is and how loved he is. Again tonight, we got the do-over of his entrance because the entrance music stopped, and then after, you know, a few minutes passed by, we got the entrance redone over so everybody can yeet once again, sort of an encore of his entrance. But he calls out Cody Rhodes here tonight. He wants to holler at Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes comes out and he says to Jey Uso, you know, how both of them, they're really good friends, you know, how they won the tag team titles together, how they had that press conference moment. And, you know, he lists the number of injuries that he has about his elbow. There's fluid in his elbow, how he has lower back issues, lower back problems. He said that, you know, even though his doctor told him this, and his doctor is a very good person, his doctor's not the WWE champion. And he tells Jey Uso, he says, if you want to face me at WrestleMania, then let's make a memory here tonight, because following tonight, there's not going to be very good memories going forward if Jey Uso does, you know, select Cody Rhodes to face at WrestleMania 41. And just as Jey Uso is about to respond to Cody Rhodes and potentially tell us who he's going to face at WrestleMania 41, out comes Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. And like I said before, Jacob Fatu getting a hell of a lot of promo time, and you can see why, because Jacob Fatu is always so intense with it. He brings it, and he tells Cody Rhodes that, you know, a year ago, Cody Rhodes took that title away from his family, and he said that now it's time for that title to come back to my family, to where it belongs. And he told Jey, he said, if anybody's gonna do it, it sure as hell isn't gonna be you. And of course, this ends up in a brawl and an attack. Everybody starts attacking each other. Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. This leads us down to a tag team match later on tonight. So we get this tag team match later on tonight, and to be honest, this was just a standard television match. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. We did get a Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes victory at the end. Jey Uso took out Jacob Fatu. This led for Cody Rhodes to get the crossroads on Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga took the pin, so Cody Rhodes ended up winning this match. When out of nowhere, you see a black hooded figure delivers a Samoan spike, and it's revealed to be Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa is back. He returns here tonight and takes out Cody Rhodes. And, you know, initially I thought to myself, you know, when Jacob Fatu was coming out, I said, man, I wonder where Solo Sikoa is, because if Solo Sikoa misses WrestleMania, then what are we doing with Jacob Fatu? But now that Solo is back, you know, there has to be some sort of rude awakening for Solo, because Solo just left his family members, you know, Jacob and Tama, out to dry. And even though they've been doing great as far as like Jacob goes, you know, in the Rumble and whatnot, I'm sure they've got to have some sort of resentment to Solo Sikoa. So I'm glad that Solo's back. That way we can start the whole Solo and Jacob thing, because you know that's going to start, and you know that's going to lead up to WrestleMania. We also got a massive shift from Raw over to SmackDown. We got Drew McIntyre. He switched brands officially. I've been calling for this for a few months, ever since Drew McIntyre lost against CM Punk at Bad Blood in the Hell in a Cell match. I figured, you know, Drew, he's done everything on Raw. There's not much for him to do on Raw. So I said, you know, why not move this guy over to SmackDown, have him have some fresh new feuds, such as Cody, which is essentially someone that Drew McIntyre did call out. He called out Cody Rhodes. He told him that, you know, eventually he's coming for him, and he's coming for his title. And Drew McIntyre really made the point that, you know, on SmackDown, he's all smiles. He reiterated the fact that on Raw, he was a product of his environment. He said that that bald-headed idiot, Adam Pearce, doesn't know how to run a show, and said that, you know, following the Royal Rumble, he was pissed off. Drove from Indianapolis to Nashville and he woke up the next morning feeling re-energized and rejuvenated when all of a sudden he got a call from Nick Aldis telling him to join the SmackDown brand, that on SmackDown Drew can be 100% Drew. And this is a man, Nick Aldis, who Drew McIntyre has known ever since they were teenagers. So Drew accepted and chose to come to SmackDown. This brought out Jey Uso. Jey Uso said that Drew McIntyre just sounds like an ex-girlfriend, always bringing up the past. And Jey Uso says that tonight he's going to earn his place at the Elimination Chamber. Next, we had a match between LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre. This brought out LA Knight. LA Knight says that he has no love lost for Jimmy or Drew. He says that Drew's always crying about something. And he also made a subtle reference to the whole Royal Rumble rumors following the show, because if you remember correctly, there was rumors circulating the internet that Drew McIntyre was legitimately furious with an individual at the Royal Rumble because he quote-unquote had to get his moves in. And LA Knight made a subtle reference to that fact, that LA Knight said here tonight that saying, I have to get my stuff in here. I didn't even catch this at first until I actually, went back and rewatched it. But we had a solid match between these three guys. Eventually Drew McIntyre goes on to the Elimination Chamber and has his spot secured for the Elimination Chamber. Now, one of my favorite things that we got on this show was the Kevin Owens promo from his car, because they recapped what happened on Monday night regarding Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And then we got a shot of Kevin Owens in his car. But this time Kevin Owens seems like he's done with everything. He's done with everything regarding what is going on around him. He says that he's in pain that Sami Zayn can't see, that he has scars that will never go away. And he blames Sami Zayn for what happened, because Sami Zayn came out at the Royal Rumble and in Kevin Owens' eyes did nothing to stop Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble was almost like a man possessed trying to end Kevin Owens' career. And he says that Sami Zayn just stood there and watched as all this happened. And later on in the night at the Royal Rumble match, when Roman Reigns needed help, Sami Zayn was right there to help him. And Kevin Owens says that, regarding Sami Zayn, he doesn't think that he'll ever forgive Sami Zayn for what he's done. So like I said, I thought this was fantastic. I think these car promos of Kevin Owens just seem so genuine. And I do think that we're probably going to get this at the Elimination Chamber, because it's such an easy spot for this. Realistically, you could do this wherever you want, Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania. Whatever the case is, I'm all for this. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens once again. Now, Charlotte Flair was on this show here tonight as well to sort of confront Tiffany Stratton regarding her choice at WrestleMania 41. Charlotte Flair says that everybody is obsessed with her, obsessed with her titles, her looks, her Royal Rumble win. Tells the crowd whether, are they going to boo her tonight? Are they going to cheer her tonight? She says that, does anybody really think that Charlotte Flair was going to end up in this Royal Rumble match and end up losing the match? Tiffany Stratton, who came out here and confronted Charlotte Flair. And then Nia Jax came out here and told Tiffany Stratton that next week they're going to have a match for the championship between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Now, presumably, I just foresee that next week we are going to get this match against Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, and next week is when Charlotte Flair is going to come out here and make her decision to face Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania 41, which is fine. But if I'm telling you the truth, I'm not really interested in Charlotte Flair and whoever she wrestles. I'm just kind of over the whole Charlotte Flair experiment with her, winning everything, winning the Royal Rumble, winning the titles. So for me, she just has genuine go away heat. Following this, we got the Alexa Bliss return. I could have told you, man, I think Alexa Bliss should have won the Royal Rumble instead of Charlotte Flair at this point. You know what I mean? I would have taken anybody over Charlotte Flair at this point. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts on this episode of SmackDown. And until next time, y'all, take care.